morning. It's Sunday morning. It's 9:25 in the morning. These two guys here had a very long walk, but for some reason today they don't want to hang out on the deck because it's wet. It rained all night and it was actually pretty chilly. Let me see, what's the temperature right now? It's I don't know if you can see it. It's 62 degrees, but you can see that there's a lot of wind, so it's not helping at all. Alright, so I have a big project for today. Every third Sunday of the month I clean the fridge, and I only do it once a month. And I know that some of you may be cleaning their fridge on a consistent basis, like, I don't know, maybe you keep it clean every day or you do it every week, but I only do it once a month. I've patiently waited to have a really messed up fridge to be able to do this video, because I know I've had some requests about speed cleaning the bathroom and cleaning the fridge, and the bathroom thing will come soon, probably, I don't know, next week, something like that. But it's the perfect time for me to do the fridge. And again, this is a real home, so you're not gonna get to see a fridge that's organized when I open the door. It's gonna be pretty messy and disgusting, like I expect most people's fridge to look like. I want to keep it real, but what I want to do today is reassess the spacing in the fridge. For instance, but first of all, it's not a double door fridge. It's this thing right here that came with the house. Obviously, he had another fridge before we purchased the home, and then when he put the house on the market, he put this fridge instead. I would love to have a double door fridge that has the fridge on the top and the freezer at the bottom, but that's not what I have, and I'm not about to go on the market to purchase a fridge that's a double door. It's too expensive for us right now. We have other priorities like the stove. This stove right here needs either repair or replacement, so that would be the priority. The fridge, it's working, I'm gonna have to deal with it. But yesterday I was thinking that, you know, that little drawer that contains supposedly the cold cuts and things like this, well, we don't really eat cold cuts, so we put cheese and things like that in there, but that drawer takes a lot of room, so anything that's underneath it at on the shelf that's under that drawer, there's not much room for it. So I was thinking that maybe I could just remove the drawer. I don't really need it. I could put the stuff in a container, in a locked container, and stack it in the fridge, so that way I can gain a little bit more space. So I have to strategize the whole concept of how I keep things inside this fridge. Before I show you what it looks like, I want to have a little bit of a breakfast, since my counter is now available for breakfast. I'm gonna have some cereals and a cup of coffee, probably look at a magazine for a couple of minutes, and then I'll show you the disaster behind me. This fridge that, please let me know that your fridge looks like that. I don't want to be putting myself out there with a disgusting fridge and, you know, gross out anyone, but, you know, the after picture and after video will look better for sure. So for breakfast today, I'm having a cup of coffee, I have a bowl of cereal, and I'm using my new Korean little dishes, and they are absolutely perfect. Having a kiwi, and then since I have access to books now, I'm gonna look into my Taste of Home cookbook when I'm having breakfast, because I have some bok choy in the fridge, and before they turn bad, I want to be able to, I don't know, do a stir fry or something. So I'm going to look in there in the index, see if they have any recipe for bok choy, and that's what I'll be making for lunch today, because I also have some pork chops, so maybe I'll do a bok choy rice type stir fry. I don't know. I'm pretty sure the kids won't eat it, but I still need to do some cooking, and because there's some adults in the house and I'm just tired of eating mac and cheese. Well, I found nothing in the Taste of Home that had bok choy as an ingredient, so I went in the living room where I have a bunch of cooking books, Chinese and Japanese cooking book, which reminded me that I might as well just bring them here now. And I looked at this one, Classic Chinese Cuisine, and not a single thing with bok choy. And the stir fry thing here, all they had was stir fry, a stir fry vegetable, where bok choy was the ingredient. And I don't get it. I thought that bok choy was a big ingredient in Chinese food, but apparently it's just an add-on. So I don't know, I guess I'm gonna have to make up my own recipe. I have coconut oil, I have some rice, I have pork chops, and I have bok choy, I have some carrots, onion, so I think I might be able to put something together. Anyway, so let me go ahead and show you the disaster that is my fridge, and yeah, saddle up. And now for the big embarrassment. So here we go. Let's start with the freezer. What do we have in here? An almost empty box of waffles. We have some chicken. We have meatballs that I made the other day. Yes, I did cook meatballs, and there will be a video link down there. There's obviously a very, very avid eater of ice cream in the house. That would be my husband. He has to have ice cream every single night. I don't eat ice cream too much, but here, this goes here while we at it. We have some leftovers here, and I can tell you what this is. My husband made his first Gordon Ramsay recipe from the books that I purchased for him, and this is where they landed. That's how popular that stuff was, and I think it was like a cranberry chutney or something like this with some noodles in it. I really didn't care for it, and I think I mentioned that in the other video, so I think he forgot about those. They're taking room, and the plastic containers, so I'm not even going to empty them. They're going to go straight to the trash. We have another ice cream. There's a leftover vegetable soup. I'm keeping that. There's some I don't know what that is. I think it's lentils, and that's gonna go to the trash too because I don't know how long it's been there. Of course, I'm not dating anything. There's the ice cream thing here that's taking a huge amount of space, but my husband wants to keep it. Ice cubes, can't move that. More ice cream, some vegetables. All right, so this is not too bad. One left. Okay, so that's gonna have to change. Move, Electra, thank you very much. And here's my fridge. Look at this mess. Please tell me that your fridge looks like this too once in a while, that it's not just me. Ignore the stains. I know the stains, that's the reason why it needs to be cleaned. So we have some leftovers in here. There's a salad spinners in there. There's some leftover food from last week that I'm not going to keep. Pork chops I made last night, leftovers, it's a mess. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to empty the entire fridge, and the freezer, and put everything in here. And once that's done, I'm gonna spray the fridge and with my solution of white vinegar and Dawn. And then while this is soaking, I'm just gonna trash whatever I need to trash, and then I'll clean the fridge thoroughly, add a little bit of bleach at the end, and then rinse it again. Do the same thing with the freezer, and then I'll put things back, do an inventory of what it is that I have, and then I'll have to make a list of what it is that I need, because today is grocery shopping. So I'll probably finish this video with a grocery haul, but that's gonna happen later on during the day. And do, in between, I'll do a stir fry, or I'll attempt to make a stir fry. So let me go ahead and empty this and show you on the counter the amount of stuff that's in there. Okay, so this is everything that was in the door. Can you believe the amount of stuff in there? I don't even know how many multiples of the same we have. There's a milk here. I have to check the expiration date of every single one of those items and make an inventory of what we need. Like, for instance, I know I need to get some ketchup. So while I'm doing this, I have the trays soaking in hot water and suds. So that way I don't have to scrub them inside the fridge. So I've got this part down now. I got to tackle this. But I'm going to try to stay as organized as possible and start with this here. Otherwise, I'm going to get overwhelmed and there'll be stuff all over. So I'm doing it in sections. Then I'll do the top shelf, then I'll do the middle shelf. That's the only way for me to be able to do this. Otherwise, there'll be stuff everywhere. It's overwhelming. I start keeping stuff I shouldn't be keeping. And then I get tired, I guess, or grossed out. And then I end up putting everything back, or I just wipe it off. So I just want to do a thorough cleaning, and again, I do that every month. So yeah, let me finish this. These are going to soak for a good half an hour, I guess, because they'll be easier to, and the water is really, really, really hot. And this is what I'm keeping, and this is what's going to the trash. This is the milk that's about to get expired, and there's about that much left anyway. There's some old chicken broth. There's a really sorry looking mustard. I don't know what's going on there. It's almost like a scientific experiment. I'm not even going to try the smell test. Old soda that we don't drink. It's a friend of ours who drinks soda. We don't. and then some really bad looking jelly. I have at least 4 different types of jam and jellies in the fridge right now, and I really need to get rid of whatever it is that I know we don't use. So let me wash these, put them up for to dry, and then I'll move on to the next area. So these have been washed. I put them right down the counter to dry. Again, this is what I'm keeping. I got rid of everything that was trash, emptied it in the sink, and then washed the bottles, the containers, and put them in the recyclables on the other side. So now that I've done the door, I'm going to start from the top, and I'm going to work my way down to the bottom. So I'm going to pull out stuff. I know that's leftovers. That's going to get to the trash. Got to wash the bowl. That's leftovers from yesterday. I got to do a better container. And then we got this here, and I'm going to pull the shelves. Wait, there's something in the back. What is that? An onion. Okay. I'm going to pull the shelves, and I'm going to... Oh, that's the one basket I was telling you about. So I might as well just do that and put it to the side. We'll sort it out later. So now I'm going to pull those shelves and put them in the sink so they can soak and wash, because there's some red unknown residue. I'm assuming it's some kind of red fruit, but I'm going to pull those and make them soak in here while I take care of all of that. So again, when you do your fridge, and I know I'm grossing you out, and I'm grossed out too, but when you do your fridge, you have to take your time, and you got to work one area at a time from the top to the bottom, starting with the door. That's the only way to do it. You can't just like haphazardly pull out stuff and you know, try to clean around things. You really have to take everything out, and the way I do it is just methodically doing one area at a time, because it's helping me keep track of what it is that I have to purchase. So whenever I see something that is about to be empty, or I see something that we need to repurchase, keeping a list on the side of items. So I already have the mustard and the ketchup written in there. But anyway, let me put those in the sink, and then we'll sort out whatever I just pulled out. And this is what I'm keeping from round 2. I put the pork chops in a real container. I have some yogurts that are still good, cheese. There's some goat cheese, some pesto, and an onion. And then I washed the 2 top shelf and this drawer. You know what, I was thinking, maybe since we don't eat cold cuts, I can use this at the bottom of the fridge as a tray and just put all the milk and the dairies in it. That way, instead of just like moving stuff around to go get to the milk, I just pull the tray from under the bottom of the fridge, and then all of the milks would be in there. So I don't know, we'll figure it out. Maybe it will work, maybe it won't. So now I have this shelf right here. So this is the one I'm going to tackle, and then once I'm done with that, I'll move on to this one. And again, I'm just doing it one step at a time because I don't want to be overwhelmed. So this thing here doesn't have an expiration date. All it says is this here. There's no expiration date. I don't know. There's none. What do I do? When in doubt, toss it. So the last shelf is right here, and this is what I'm keeping again. I still have some good water here. It's, you see, I'm not overwhelmed. There's not a mess all over the kitchen. I'm just doing it one bite at a time. Now I'm going to tackle this area right here. Pull out whatever is in there. There's some lettuce, romaine, and then there's some cat food and stuff. So let me do this, pull out the shelves, wash it, and then we can do the bottom row. I am so embarrassed. I really am. Anyway, so here's the bottom part of my fridge. I don't even know how to explain this. Look how many milks I have. This one, I don't even want to know how old it is. I mean, obviously it's been stuck in the back of the fridge for God knows how long, and there's like some perfectly good fruit that's just been shoved in there. So yeah, that's what happens when both parents are working and working late hours and just like get overwhelmed with life in general. Yeah, I'm embarrassed, but hey, you know what? This would not be called my great challenge if I had this stuff pat down to a T. So anyway, let me empty this shelf, and then I gotta laugh at myself. I hope you're laughing too, because this is just getting ridiculous. And I didn't even do the freezer yet. Quick recap, all of this is what I'm keeping and putting back in the fridge, and I just washed the tall glass, and I'm letting it dry, and I put it on the towel with the one of my decorative items that was right here as a weight, because I really don't want it to slide off and break. That's the only large surface we have in the fridge. And then I washed the salad spinner by hand and spared you the site of the contents. So now I only have one thing to do, and this the two drawers right here. So I have to remove the frame and then pull out the stuff, and then that's when I'm gonna give a big spray and let everything soak while I'm doing the freezer. I'm washing and soaking the containers, crispers, whatever you call them. And then I have the frame right here that's gonna go in there as well. And here's the whole fridge with it, whatever that is at the bottom, absolutely disgusting. So I'm using my Dawn and white vinegar, and I'm just gonna spray the entire contents and let it soak through the freezer. Put a lot of that stuff right here at the bottom. And while this is soaking, I'll just do the freezer. And then we'll come back with the hot water and bleach, rinse it off, and then rinse the whole thing again with water and put everything back in and try to organize it. So let me close this. This is gonna soak for a good 10 minutes. And now I'm gonna tackle this mess in here. I just have to remove some of the stuff that's in the back and put it straight in the trash, and maybe like just keep that one item. Maybe I have to do some cleaning as well. So let me do this, and then we'll get back to organizing the fridge. So I don't know, what time is it? It's 20 to 11 minus the break and all of that. It took maybe what, 35 minutes. When you organize and you do it one bite at a time, it actually is not, again, it's not overwhelming. It's not a pleasant chore, but it's much easier that way than, you know, just pulling everything out and then having stuff all over the place. So this is almost done. I'm just gonna stop it and let it soak for a little bit, empty the freezer, get to this one, clean the freezer, get to this one, and then we'll wipe off the entire content of the fridge. And then we'll do, of course, the handles and the seam, which is not too bad. I've seen worse. So let me do that, and then we'll see the final results. So there was a lot of splatter of water and soap while I was doing the frame, but it's drying right there. And while I was doing this, I did the freezer, so it looks much better. I have removed everything that was in the back, like the Gordon Ramsay stuff. Well, never going to defrost and eat. And I have some meat here, so at least I know I have 2 meals out of that chicken and 1 meal here out of those meatballs. And there's more meatballs over here. I put the little waffles over there. I'm gonna let this dry so that I don't have footprints all over, and I'm still gonna have to wash the floor anyway. But why put myself in danger of slipping and falling? This is all the stuff that's gonna go back in the fridge. I'm gonna let this dry, and it's gonna give a little bit more time for this stuff here to soak through. Take a break, come back in about 15 minutes. Hopefully this will be dry, and then we'll wipe out the entire fridge and we'll see how good this Dawn and vinegar thing works. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna take everything out, because it's an absolute awesome cleanser. If you want to know more about it, I have a kitchen speed cleaning video. I put the link below so you can see all of the stuff you can do with the Dawn and vinegar. And there's no proportion. I just, you know, pour Dawn and pour some white vinegar. Maybe I put that much Dawn in it and then about that much vinegar. So I don't have actual measures. I just mix them together, and that's just about it. Okay, so my floor is dry, and what? It smells like bleach. I'm sorry. I have water, hot water, and just maybe like a tablespoon of bleach. That's it, not a lot of bleach. And I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe the entire surface of my fridge, starting from the top, because that's probably the part that is the least dirty, and then we'll finish in the bottom. So let me do this. And this has been soaking for, oh, I don't know, a good 20 minutes now. And I'm just doing all of the surfaces, including the top. And the one part we're really interested in seeing is what it does at the bottom here. See how well the Dawn and vinegar is getting rid of everything. So all of this is getting wiped, and it has no smell. I mean, the fridge was messy, but I can't say that it was particularly dirty. All right, so let's go over there and let's see how good the Dawn and vinegar is getting rid of stuff. Everything is just being lifted off the surfaces. It's nice and shiny. And I'm not wearing gloves because I never wear gloves. I just can't work with gloves. They bother me. Yep. It's getting all clean. All right, let's do the bottom, which was the grossest part. Let's see how well we can get rid of all this stuff. And it's all lifted. Soak up some of that stuff. Rinse it. And then what I'll do is get another one of those bowl of hot water with a little bit, with no soap or no bleach, just to get rid of whatever leftover product I have. Do one part right here. Yeah, it's clean. All right, let's do the sides. Do this part right here. And the bottom. All right, so yep, it's all clean. Let me just give it a good rinse and then we're gonna put the shelves back in. Okay, so everything is back in, everything is clean. And I've decided that I wasn't gonna keep the drawer attached to the shelf because we can't keep the cheese somewhere else. Instead, what I want to be able to do is pull out the drawer to get the milk. That way we don't have to try to like reach all the way to the end. And I was told that you should never keep the milk in the door because this is the least cold area of the fridge. The coldest one is all the way in the back at the bottom. So technically this should be all the way up there. So what I'm keeping in here is the dairy. So I have the sour cream and the yogurt and the milk. So whenever I want to grab milk, I just go ahead, pull this, take my milk and put it back in. It's not taking a huge amount of space, but I did have to move it up a little bit in order for the milk to be able to stand there. So I'm gonna fill up my fridge with the rest of the stuff that I have. I'm gonna work this out for about a week and see whether or not it's worthy. Because the problem really is this drawer is pretty deep, so if you attach it, then whatever space you have underneath is not enough to put anything. So you tend to have stuff in there and then you forget it or whatnot. So for me, this just looks better. It's more organized, it's cleaner. I put some paper towel at the bottom. I'm going to put some paper towel at the bottom of those as well. And okay, so let me put everything back in and let's see how it looks like. And everything is back in. So this is what I did. And again, because I removed a lot of things, it looks a little bit empty, but I'm going to go grocery shopping later on. So on the top shelf here, I have a container where I put all the cheese. And yeah, it's pretty much all cheese. Here I have some leftover meat that can go over there. I have a little container here where I keep the kids' little snack juices. This is a big container. We don't usually buy these grapes. Actually, we got those at the Korean supermarket, and I think that just my husband and I like them. The kids do not like them, so they're not going in the crisper. They have their own little container that can stay here. Again, this is the dairy tray. And then I have all the vegetables here on one side. I have some carrots over there. And then in here I have the leftover cat food, and I only have 3 eggs left. So instead of keeping the whole big container, I put them in a little glass container here. In this tray I have all the condiments. So it's, what is this? That's the marinade. I have the leftover ketchup. I have some barbecue sauce and hot sauce and 2 bottles of dressing for the salad. Over here it's all breakfast items. So I have the breakfast shakes. And I have 3 jelly. I have this one that I bought in Ohio when we went there a couple of weeks ago. It's a dandelion jelly. And then this one is rhubarb jam. And then we have the red raspberry Welsh. I have sodas here at the bottom. We used to use this thing here, but quite frankly this takes a huge amount of space in the fridge, so I don't want it anymore. So I only have like a couple of sodas for our friend, and then there's a bottle of wine, beer, and then the juice for the kids, and then some leftover tomato sauce, the garlic, the chopped garlic we use for cooking, and a jar of pickled. And that is it for my fridge. That's what a clean fridge looks like. I may move this shelf to level here so that way we can put some stuff here a little bit higher. Matter of fact, you know what, let me do, well, there's not a lot of room here, so maybe I need to put this here, and that way I have a shelf that's a little bit higher, and maybe I'll move this one down so I can have more space here. But anyway, so it's done. That's what a clean fridge looks like. It is 11:33 or something like this. I had a few breaks, so it is not a task that is a fast one. I say it would take about an hour and a half, but it's done, and next month I'll do the whole process over. I'm gonna try to maintain it so that it's not taking that long, but I do still take out all the shelves and wipe everything and clean it. So anyway, I hope this helped. I'm not sure if I'm doing it the right way. This is the way I'm doing it. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know whether or not taking out that drawer made sense. I love to hear from you. And let me know if you clean your fridge more often, or things that you do with your fridge, what kind of containers and you use, or how you keep things in the door, for instance. I'm always interested in learning new ways of keeping my house. Until my next video, thank you for watching. And again, this is Sophia from mygritchallenge.blogspot.com. Like, subscribe, and I will see you later. Hi, I'm back. It's 5:15, and I went grocery shopping, and I said I was going to show you my grocery haul and how I put the stuff into the fridge. So let me just give you a quick overview. This is a mix of couponing and non-couponing. It wasn't a great day for me. I just saved 40% I think today, but there's some produce and things like this, and so I'm gonna kind of like separate it and show them to you by categories. But I'm probably gonna start with the frozen things because that needs to get in the freezer right now. But just to give you a quick recap of the things I already have, because I'm trying to do meal planning. So I know I have some chicken quartered legs, so that's at least 2 meals worth right here. I have 1 meal's worth of meatballs. I have a little bit of vegetables, spinach and some corn. I already have some English muffins. I have some meatballs here, and a soup, but that's not going to be for a meal. So I already have that. And then in here for tonight, I already have the leftover of the, let me take that out, the leftover of the pork chops. So that's going to be for a stir fry that I'm going to do tonight. So let me show you what I got and how I plan to use all of this food throughout the next 2 weeks. In the frozen category, or category that's going to go in the freezer, I have a whole chicken, and that's a good 3 days worth of food right there. That's going to go in the freezer because I'm not going to do it right away. I may do it probably next Saturday. I have some frozen vegetables. I have the waffles for the kids, and I have some of those tater tots from Oreanga. I don't necessarily have time to put together a complete dinner, so these are great in a pinch. And then of course, because I went shopping with the kids, they had to have their way, so we bought some Italian ice again, and we got the cherry ones for Edward, and then William didn't want the lemon this time around, so I'm stuck with the chocolate, and I know I'm not going to eat any of those, so I'm going to put these in the freezer, clear the space, and then move on to the next category. My local supermarket had some really good deal on their store brand pasta, and these were just 49 cents each when you have the store card. So even though we're not going to eat that much pasta in 2 weeks, and because I coupon and I stockpile, I just went ahead and bought a whole bunch. So I bought some rotelli and ziti's and elbow pasta, and these are to make the macaroni and cheese that I make. And basically what I do is just I cook the macaronis, I strain them, and then I mix them with a little bit of cream and two different types of cheeses. Usually it's Parmesan and cheddar cheese. And once it's all mixed, I put them in a baking dish and I sprinkle the whole top with more cheese, and then I crack some of those little Ritz crackers. So I bought 3 boxes, and these ones were on sale too, but they're the whole wheat kind. The kids won't know the difference. They're just healthier. So what I do is that I just break them or crumble them on top and just put them in the oven for a couple of minutes so that they get all golden. And this gives a lot of crunch to the macaroni and cheese, and is actually a much better deal than the regular Velveeta or whatever other macaroni and cheese type things that you can get at the store. And we have in the garage over there, I have a big chest freezer. So I did buy some bread. I bought some Fiber One, and these were 2 for $4. My kids won't eat anything that has seeds on it. So I can't really get the oatmeal, and I can't get the sesame, and I can get the 7 grains or whatnot. So we get the country white that has the extra fiber. It works just the same. We try, my husband and I, not to eat too much bread, but I do indulge in toast in the evening with a cup of tea. And these are for my little guy's lunches. He's decided that he wants us to make him some turkey and cheese sandwiches for the coming week. After that, he's eating at the cafeteria because they finally opened the cafeteria. The oldest one is at the cafeteria already. And I just finished saying in this video that I do not buy cold cuts. So because I went to the store and he decided to want some turkey sandwich, of course I had to buy cold cuts today, and we never do. But anyway, so that's for this week, and then I'll put those in the freezer. So these here go to the freezer, that goes to the fridge. These go entirely downstairs to the stockpile. And then because I bought some hummus at the Whole Food, I found these whole grain all natural mini pitas, and there's 8 of them. So that's just for my husband and I at dinner time or for snack. Fruits and vegetables, I have you saw that earlier, I have some bok choy in the fridge, and I also have a full bag of carrots, and over there in that basket I have a full bag of potatoes. And today I purchased some onions. I'm going to need that for the stir fry tonight, and I'm probably going to use it for other dishes throughout the week. We bought some what are those? Cherry tomatoes. They have a specific name. Not grape tomatoes. They have, I don't know, I can't remember the variety, but they are cherry tomatoes for our salads. We bought some green apples, an avocado. We're probably gonna make burritos at some point during the week. I have frozen tortillas inside the freezer in there. There's a bell pepper and some bananas and tangelos. The reason why I buy tangelos instead of oranges is that for some reason, even though we're in season, I can't find oranges that are sweet enough. They're just never good enough for me. So I buy tangelos instead. So fruits are gonna go in here. I may have to put some of them in the fridge, like for instance the apples, just to keep them fresh. I'm gonna separate the bananas because I heard that it's better to separate them rather than keeping them as a bunch in order to keep them fresh. And I'll move on to the next category. So the boys enjoy juice in the morning, but they usually drink the V8 Splash or the V8, I can't even remember the name of it, but they have different types of V8. It's like vegetable mixed with fruits, so they get the vegetable servings in addition to the fruit. But today the Very Fine was on sale, and these were just $1 per bottle. So I got 2 of the fruit punch and 2 of the apple juice, and there still is a full bottle of V8 in the fridge, so that's definitely going to last us 2 weeks. And then they also wanted the Simply lemonade with raspberry, and this is actually pretty good. I mean, this, I don't know if you can see it. This what you want, Electra? Oh, what is it? She got a fly, I think. I don't know if you can see it, but there's lemon pulp in it. This is delicious on ice. And then for their lunch at schools, I got some Honest Kids Tropical Tango Punch, and it's organic. It's made from, you know, concentrate, but it has half the sugar than the leading kids drinks. And I guess this one is tropical, so it's got mango and orange, and I'm not sure what that is, that green thing right here. Let's see, what is that? What are the ingredients? Soda water, organic. Oh, it's grape, orange, mango, and okay, so the little green ones here are grapes. They didn't look like grapes to me. But anyway, so that's for their lunches. So that's gonna stay on the counter on the other side over there to put inside their lunch boxes. And in the canned variety, I bought some Progressive soups that were on super sales. There's the pasta fagioli and the classic fat-free lentil, and these are great for lunch. Sometimes there's not enough leftovers from dinner to use for lunch for me and my husband, so I bring in a soup and a salad, and that will do it. And there's some more vegetables. There's some sweet corn and peas. Sometimes I mix them and add some spices, add some sauteed onions, and just do like a little mini stir fry, and it works just the same. I prefer frozen, but these were on sale, and I think I paid maybe 35 cents per can. Can't complain. And then I replaced my husband's chunky peanut butter. I bought a lot of store brand this time around, probably because this was not a good week for couponing. So this is gonna go in here as part of breakfast, because that's what he eats in the morning. And then all of this here is well, at least these are gonna go down to the stockpile, and I'm gonna put these in the pantry over here. There we go. Move these over there instead, like this. Much better, so I still have room right here. Well, pretty much all the fruit managed to fit in this, minus the kiwis. The kiwis I put in the fridge. So what I did is that I used some of my film wrap, and I separated each banana. And I've never done this before, so I really don't know whether it works. But I've wrapped every single end of each banana with the wrap, because I like green bananas. If they start having spots, I won't eat them at all. I'm weird like that. I just like green bitter bananas. Anyway, here's the dairy. I already had plain milk in the fridge, so I bought the 2%. I drink the plain milk. My kids drink the plain milk. My husband insists on getting some type of reduced milk, so that's his milk. I bought some cheddar cheese, and again, that's the store brand, for my little guy's sandwiches. And since he insisted on getting some kind of turkey, I did buy healthy ones, honey smoked turkey breast, and then this one is, oh, they're both the same. And these were 2 for $5, so that's gonna go straight into the fridge. This is gonna go in the box where I have all the cheeses. This is not dairy, but I just wanted to put it in this category. This is hummus to go with the little pitas. It's actually a fairly big tub. This is from Whole Foods, and it's called Good Neighbors Roasted Garlic Hummus. We probably have more hummus than we have pita bread, but that's okay. We'll switch to crackers or something else. So that's for my husband and I. I got some almond milk, and this one is almond and coconut from Blue Diamond, Almond Breeze. And I use this in the morning for my coffee. I like to have flavored coffee, but my husband doesn't. So instead of me spending money at the Dunkin' Donuts every morning to get some kind of flavored coffee, I just put this instead of milk, and it works just the same. It actually it's actually delicious, and it's healthier for you. It's got only 45 calories. And what else? Made from real almond and coconut, 50% more calcium than milk, and contains no cholesterol. And let's see, fat 3.5. That's for a 1 cup, and I don't even think that I put more than 2 tablespoons in my cup of coffee in the morning. So that's that. And then the Yoplait yogurts, I know we have some in the fridge, but we eat a lot of those. Probably the little guy probably eats one every day. Edward one every other day. I probably eat two a day, and so does my husband. So we need a lot of those. And these were on sale too. They were I think 20 for $10. They were 50 cents each, and I had coupons, so after the coupons they turned out to be 35 cents each, so why not buy a lot. Okay, so everything is in. So we have the meats here. There's the chicken all the way in the back. I have the tater tots right here, so that's again meals this week and next week. And then the fridge doesn't look too filled up, but that's pretty much everything we need. So it was amazing the amount of junk I had in there that we weren't using at all. So I have salad for at least the whole week. I have the vegetable for tonight, some red onion for the salad. I have some vegetables, a lot of carrots. So for one of my meals, I could do, for instance, a macaroni and cheese, and then on the side, some sauteed carrots and maybe some peas with it. I still have grapes and the kiwis that I put right here. I put the juice here. This is the milk and the yogurt. So what I did was the yogurts that was already in there, I moved them to the front right here, and then the ones I just purchased, I moved them to the back. That's just an old restaurant trick. For those of you who were waitresses like I was, you know what I'm talking about. I still have the little juice boxes here for the kids when they come back from school. I like to keep them cold. And then all the cheeses are in this box. I got my hummus here with the pita behind it. The bread and the cold cuts for William's lunches starting tomorrow, and that's going to be gone as of tonight because I'm using that for dinner. And my almond breeze landed here. I could put it in there, but then it's going to get too crowded. I don't know. Let me see if I do this and I put it here. Well, it does fit, so there you go. Almond breeze goes in here, and that's just about it. So this is my attempt at money planning for the next 2 weeks, and I'm drawing a blank here for next Thursday, not the one coming up, but the one after that. That would be the second Thursday, I guess, not the first Thursday in October. Friday, it's pizza. We usually stop by and get, so it would be considered like takeout. So tonight I have the stir fry with pork chops and rice. Tomorrow I'm doing my Ritzy mac and cheese with some sauteed peas. On Tuesday, I'm going to do some of those chicken legs, so I'm not going to take the whole package, just 2 of those big chicken legs with some tater tots and carrots. On Wednesday, I'll do some rigatoni with the meatballs that I have in there with peas and carrots. I'll do chicken legs again on Thursday with some sauteed potatoes. And then Friday, we'll have the takeout pizza. I'll make the chicken roaster on Saturday, and we'll have leftover pizza with it. And then next Sunday, we have more leftover roaster and some tater tots and corn. I have another bag of meatballs, so next Monday it'd be meatballs and salted potatoes. I'll do my Ritzy mac and cheese and carrots again next Tuesday. We'll have burritos on Wednesday because I have the tortillas in the freezer, and I have all the black beans and everything else I need here for that. And then that's it. I don't have any food after that, so I'm gonna have to go back to the store next Sunday to buy food for the rest of the week and probably the 2 weeks after that. So yeah, it's my first attempt. I don't know if that's the way you're supposed to do it. I don't know if I'm working backward, if I should plan first and then buy, or if I should buy and then plan with what I have. I've already done an inventory of what I have, so it's based on what I already have and what was on sale today. Yeah, I'm learning. It's a learning process, but hey, you know what? It's better than what I had yesterday where I had absolutely no plans. So I'm sticking with this for now, and then I'll report back and let you know how it worked. This has been the week of a lot of learning experiences. One, the kitchen. I've learned that we had way too much junk in there, and most of it needed to get, trashed, and I did just that, and I feel great. You guys have been fantastic. I've had some awesome comments on YouTube. I really appreciate all of your feedback, and I think it was my sparkly life who said that. I must feel like a weight was lifted off my shoulder, and it could not get more accurate. It absolutely is what it is. A big weight was lifted off my shoulder. This whole kitchen now is completely done and organized and perfect for me, at least for what we need. So now the whole learning experience and the learning process for me is going to be the meal planning. The fridge is clean. It doesn't look like I have a lot of food in there, but very obviously I have enough for at least 9 days. I'm going to try to push it to 14, but I doubt I'm going to be able to do that. I still have to go downstairs and see what I have in the pantry. But, this is a learning experience again. I'm just brand new at this meal planning thing, so I'm just trying things in there, here and there. I'm going to try to go on the internet and see what other people are doing. And like I said, I'll report back and let you know what I've learned. And probably we'll come up with some kind of chart and printable thing and just try to make a big, process out of it. But basically what I want to be able to do is simplify my life. When I come home from work and I'm doing homework with the kids, I need to know what I'm making for dinner. It's going to go fast. I don't want to have to spend 2 hours behind the stove. I want to be able to do something real quick that requires limited preparation, or at least is already prepared somehow. If it just needs to be defrosted, that's fine. So basically I just want to come home, do a quick meal, not have to worry about what's for dinner, and I want to be able to prepare it in less than, I want to be able to prepare it in less than an hour, so I can enjoy more of this and the little guy who's in the living room, my husband, my pets, my home, my life away from work. Yep. Bye.